SilkCityHotSauce.com. Why am I yelling? SilkCityHotSauce.com. You know it. I talk about it every week. What the fuck is your problem? Get the Silk City Hot Sauce now. Use the promo code Zumock. Get 15% off your order and buy my goddamn hot sauce. The number one selling hot sauce at Silk City. Bob Bickerstaff doesn't have shit on me. Fuck you, Aaron Berg. SilkCityHotSauce.com. Florida's greatest tropical sauce. Mango Madness. It's my sauce. I'm looking at a bottle. I'm out, Jeff Levine. That's how fast this thing is fucking selling. So send me some more hot sauce and you go buy my hot sauce and sign up to my goddamn Patreon. I think if I start yelling at people, you're going to start doing it. So go sign up for my fucking Patreon already. It's $3 a month. It's 12 fucking quarters. I don't know. It's taking so goddamn long. It's the best way you can support a comedian in a pandemic. So bonus content. You get the episode a week early. Go sign up. Patreon.com/sit-down Zumock. Let's get the show started. All right, it's the Sit Down Zumock podcast coming live and direct from Tampa, Florida. It's Florida's greatest, Florida's most wanted, the has-been baller, the lost chip tip consumer, Chad Zumock, a.k.a. the Z-Man. I'm here with Tyler. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? The internet's acting funny, so I'm on my phone, so I apologize to everyone for the echoiness.
Deal with it, people. It's 2021. We've dealt with it for the entire year. If Howard Stern's doing terrestrial radio or satellite radio on Zoom, you can deal with this on Zoom, okay? That's what it is. That's what's going on. Now, I'm on Patreon, Tyler. Are you familiar with that?
I am familiar. And
you can sign up for as little as $3. It's patreon.com/sit-down-Zumock. And it's interesting. A lot of people, they sign up to support, and you got $100 sponsors, and they got people, who really dig the content. And they dig the podcast, but I never understood somebody who would sign up to my Patreon just to send me nasty, nasty messages.
Is that happening?
Yeah.
They pay to send you shit, huh?
Yeah, they signed up, and I'm assuming it's under a fake email and a fake name, and they're just saying some of the most horrific shit I've ever heard. It's just...
Really? What are they paying monthly, though?
$3.
Okay.
So for as little as $3, you can sign up and say the most horrific shit ever said before. And I wasn't going to acknowledge this. I was just going to ignore it. But I was just like, no, it's kind of interesting that somebody hates you that much that they'll pay to say shit.
Awesome. I mean, that should be a good feeling. But what are they saying?
I'm a piece of shit. I'm not funny. There's a reason why you're in your 40s. You've never been married, never had a kid. You're a loser. And, you name it. I've heard. By the way, there's nothing that's ever been said about me at this point. You're not going to get to me. You're not going to ruin my day. I just read it I'm just like, all right, cool. But I am fascinated that he's paying to do it.
You gotta hope that he is married with some kids, because that's a good father right there.
Yeah, I just don't understand. I might have probably blocked him on social media, so this is his only way to get to me, which is fine. Now, what do I just sit there and I take it, or do I cut him loose? What would you do?
Oh, I don't know. If it is only $3, then you could cut him loose. But if he wants to come back at a higher tier, I think you sit there and you take it.
Can I block him at the $3 tier and if he really wants to insult me, get it to the $20?
I think that's a good idea. I wish you could if this email address wants to come back type of thing,
And there's multiple he sends me these messages all day long. I'm just like, what the fuck? What do you do during the day?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Who it is?
What's that?
Any ideas who it is?
No, I took the email address because I have the one thing about online trolls. There's vigilante online trolls out there. I have online trolls that have my back, So I'm not going to name their, they're my trolls, my posse. So these vigilantes, they want to seek out these trolls that are trying to bring me down. So I gave them the name and the email. And I did this once before with one guy who's on my Patreon now. And they came back. I had what college he went to, what is his hometown, his phone number, his address, photos, his mom. It was crazy. And then I started posting it on my Instagram and he freaked out. And ever since then, he's been cool. But he's like, no, I'm a fan. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. It was all a joke. I go, yeah, you're saying some pretty horrific shit, dude. It wasn't, I don't know what you're trying to do.
Yeah, that's a great fan right there. That's what?
But yeah, I mean, since then it's cool. But so I just gave them the information and, maybe they'll come back with something. I don't know. But it just fascinating. I would never sign up to anyone's Patreon just to shit on them. I wouldn't. If Patton Oswalt had a Patreon, I wouldn't sign up.
Maybe it's him.
It could be. I mean, he's very COVID conscious, so he has a lot of time on his hands. He's like, I'm gonna get back at this motherfucker again. So, thank you to everyone on Patreon. I do appreciate the support, even to the hater. Thank you. Like, the money is going towards the podcast, and I appreciate it. I want to keep building this thing out and keep making it bigger and bigger. But if the hater really hates me, like hates my guts, he should sign up to the $100 tier just to stick it to me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, I want to get into this one. Next topic. Are you aware of what's going on with Tony Hinchcliffe? Are you following this?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm a fan of Kill Tony. And,
okay.
All that stuff. I'm a fan of Tony. Pang Dang, is that how you pronounce his name?
I've heard two different versions. Pang Dang's the one I'm going with because that's what it looks like. Somebody was calling him Pong. So I don't know what the fuck. I'm going with Pang Dang.
Sure.
As a white guy in 2021, I'm going with Pang Dang on this. I'm sorry.
He wouldn't be cool with that.
I don't know. Is there a way you could splice in the video right here just to show what we're talking about?
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay. So if you're watching the video, this is what it is. And maybe you can just go to that and come back. All right. So it's got over 1 million views. This kid's getting back. He's getting destroyed online by Tony's fans. Tony's getting destroyed. And I know Tony Hinchcliffe. I know what he was doing right out of the gate. I go, okay, it's Tony being Tony. It was one of those secret shows with Red Band. These fans probably know who he is. But I didn't know the backstory between Pang and Tony. There were some rumors online that Tony had asked him to open up for him before and put him on Kill Tony. But I guess Pang says he never booked him. He just happened to be on the same show and it hit Pang the wrong way. And Tony, after the words, and then say, hey, man, I was just fucking around. He just left. So I guess Pang's like, pretty pissed off about this Asian hate and all this and decided to put it up online. And next thing you know, Tony's getting dropped by his agency. He's a racist and whatever. I don't know. Where do you stand on this? As a guy from the outside looking in.
Yeah. So, I mean, and like I said, I am a fan of Tony and I've never heard of this other guy, but I did see another version of this where it showed Pang's whole set, including him.
Ari Shafir posted it.
Did Ari and calling Tony up and seeing Tony's whole set. And I didn't watch all of either. I just wanted to see, what were your jokes leading up to this? What was Tony's jokes after the small clip, And there's even a point where Tony, made mention of like, okay, I see some people here that think I'm serious or something along those lines. And it's like, yeah, no shit. Like, because this is what Tony does. And I mean, maybe it was a joke that flopped, but beyond that, I mean, I don't know. I doubt Pang went and looked for Tony afterwards to say, hey man, what the fuck? And I think that he used it as an opportunity to go viral. And from what I've heard is that Tony did try to call Pang and Pang will not answer his phone calls. And instead is taking these interviews with TMZ and this shit. And it's like, in my opinion, like you're not going to go too far professionally for your comedy career by going this route rather than just being a man saying, hey, what the fuck? Like, why did you think that would land, you know? But that's my 2 cents. I just like, who's going to want this Penn kid at their show?
That's there's a very I'm not going to name the comic who told me, said the exact same thing. Who's going to like want him on the show, and while you're on stage you're gonna like, well, is this guy gonna put me on blast? Like, you know, maybe I made fun of something that he didn't like, and he's gonna. So I see both versions, and since I know Tony, I know what he was doing. He loves wrestling, so he likes that heel persona, and he went in hard, and he tried to double down on Pang, and he almost did, honestly. And Tony's way, way, way better comic and better writer. Almost the same as Michael Richards. They decided to double down and go harder in the paint. You know, and what Richards was doing, he wasn't smart enough, and he's not that clever. He's not a comic to like turn. He was trying to turn it into something, and I think Tony was doing the same thing. But unfortunately, in today's climate, I mean, isn't it like Asian Awareness Month or something? There's some sort of thing.
Yeah, but that was also the annoying thing about Pang's tweet is like at the end he put like happy AA, you know, PI month or whatever it's, you know, whatever the abbreviation is, and it's like, what are you doing? That makes no sense. Because like you said, it's the secret show, right? So all those fans, they're going to be Red Band fans, which means they're going to be Tony fans, which means they're going to understand, even if they think that joke sucked, they're not going to go home and tweet about it. But all Pang did was let millions and millions of people who aren't even necessarily comedy fans, he gave them something else to be mad about when they don't even know who Tony is or what he does or any backstory behind it. So it was just like, it was a bitch move, honestly.
I think, you know, I don't know Pang. I know Kevin Brennan had talked to him on the phone, which is hilarious. If you listen to Misery Loves Company later on today, Kevin will tell you the story about how Pang Dang called Kevin Brennan because we tried to get him on the show, and he got cold feet at the last minute and said, I can't do it. I don't want this thing getting any bigger than what it is. So I think he did try to do it for some attention, and it was like a genie that got out of the bottle. He's trying to put the genie back in. So he's like, oh, fuck, I didn't know the repercussions of all of this. Because now, like you said, who's going to have him on the show? He's not going to be on Tony's show. He's not going to be, you know, in Houston.
Right. It was a stupid move. I really don't know what he thought would come of that. Like, I don't know. It was a dumb move. Like, just talk to Tony man to man after the show, and I'm sure Tony was like, it flopped, whatever.
But Tony does have that reputation. You know, he's a dick, like being a dick. Tony should have said something to him after the show. I think Tony should have been like, dude, I was just fucking around, you know, because, you know, maybe it hit Pang the wrong way. I don't know the situation, but, you know, like here's an example. I hosted for Mark Normand on New Year's at Side Splitters, and they were testing out a new sound guy. So I'm the first guy on stage, and they're supposed to say, hey, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, blah, blah, blah. And they play music and bring the lights up. Well, the sound guy fucked up everything. You know, it was his first night. He was nervous, like forgot to play the music, forgot to turn up the house lights. And I'm supposed to do 15 minutes up top to get this crowd going. So I'm already at a disadvantage. It's like a fucked up situation. So I just start shitting all over the sound guy because, you know, I got to get this crowd on my side, and I got to call it the obvious. Well, the sound guy, he's freaking out. He thinks he's going to lose his job. And he's like, fuck this guy. But to me, because I was saying all this shit, and I get off stage and I go up to him. I go, hey, man, I was just fucking around. And he was just like, yeah, well, dude, it's my fucking first day, man. It wasn't cool. And we got in this like but we talked it out. But
right.
But I went up and said I was just fucking around. You know, I'm like, and I had to explain to my point of view. I was like, I got a crowd to warm up, bro. Like, I'm dying. My mic's not on. The lights are down. Like, I got to do something. So.
Yeah. I mean, definitely a different scenario where, I don't know. Isn't. I mean, I'm sure you weren't going after whatever nationality that audio guy was, but.
I did call him a spick. I don't know if that was a good idea. Oh, great. Now I'm canceled. Good luck. I already canceled myself when I moved to Florida, you fucks.
There you go. But no, long story. That's where I stand by. Is I think paying. If we're weighing it out between Tony should have said something after his set and Pang shouldn't have tried to put him on blast, I think Pang definitely loses in my book. Like that, what he did was just a total bitch move.
Although we, Kevin Brennan and I are toying with the idea of doing a Texas tour, a Misery Loves Company Texas tour. And we do want Pang to open for us. We think it'd be funny. He's not allowed to have a camera in the room.
Yeah, no shit. No shit.
Yeah, listen to Misery Loves Company on Patreon if you want to hear about Kevin's meeting with Pang Dang, his 20-minute phone call with him, which is funny. But yeah, go check that out. Next one on the list. I don't know. Can we show a little clip of this too? Ricky Schroeder, did you see it?
Yeah, so I watched Costco. Yeah.
Can we show like a clip?
Oh yeah, definitely.
What we are going to do is simply follow the guidelines.
Okay. I'm getting my refund. I'm getting my refund from Costco. I suggest everybody in California get their refund from Costco. Give up your membership to Costco until they remove this.
Okay, well, this hasn't changed in any building in California, in any company that I'm aware of. The places I shop still require masks. But that's not the point. The point is Costco is simply abiding by the law, and that's the law.
There's my refund. You're the manager?
I'm the manager.
Okay, I'm suggesting everybody in California get a refund from Costco until this rule is lifted.
Silver Spoons, former child star, Ricky Schroeder. I don't know why the fuck he's living in Los Angeles still, considering his hardcore political stance.
Yeah, right? I mean, that was my take on it, was like, well, you know where you live. What do you all bent out of shape for? Just don't live in that state.
Yeah, I think it's time to part ways. I know, you've been acting since you were a child. You're fantastic in The Champ. Loved you in Silver Spoons. I always wanted that car bed, so I was always jealous of that. But it's, I think since everything's overly politicized and he's obviously hardcore on the right, and which is fine. Do whatever the fuck you want. I don't give a shit, but you can't go around. I mean, listen, I know it's been some downtime for him with roles. So he was looking for something to do, which I understand too. But this fucking guy, he's just working at Walmart, dude. He's doing what he's told. What do you make at Walmart? I don't know. What's minimum wage? I don't even know what the fuck they make, but leave the dude alone.
You probably get a little bit more for working at Costco compared to Walmart, right?
Oh, it was at Costco? Was that Costco?
It was Costco. And if you watch it, that guy, his name's Jason, by the way. I only know that because I watched it like 5 minutes before this.
You did your research. Good.
He handled it well.
No, he was a fucking pro. He should get promoted.
Not only did he handle it well, he had no clue who Ricky was. So even with the mask off, it's like, I don't know you, man.
Yeah, Rick will, unless you were a fan of, his earlier work, I don't think I would recognize Ricky Schroeder he looks like he just looks like him as a child, but older now. So it's kind of creepy.
I had to pull up his IMDb because it's a bunch of shit that I've never seen. So
like he almost has this like Benjamin Button quality to him. It seems like he's like aging backwards or forwards or whatever. So
the thing about that too is like, you're going out of your way to record yourself. It would be like, I think it would be different if someone else was recording, like, oh, look at this crazy shit walked up on it. No, like he's one of those fucking weirdos who's recording himself thinking that he's being some hero telling people to boycott Costco. Like, what are you doing? I love that he got his refund for the membership back.
How much is a Costco membership?
I'm guessing like $100, maybe $200 a year. I don't know, but
I love how I'm gonna look that up right now.
Because like, are times that tough that he's like, well, you know what? I want a refund.
Membership. How much is it? Oh, is Costco membership? Okay.
Did you find it?
You can. That's a 1-year Costco membership subscription to members. Let me see. There's a sale going on for Costco memberships. By the way, they're not a sponsor. We'd love to have them on board. If Costco, you want to join, we got you, bro. Oh, here it is. If you want to be a Gold Star membership, and I don't know what that entails, it's $60. But if you want to be a Gold Star executive membership, that's $120. So
funny. Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. You know, Rick knew that money back. I don't know what his funds are. I know, acting work's probably been down.
Well, definitely. I mean, COVID.
Yeah. But if I was Ricky Shorter, I would do what I did. Just move the fuck out of Los Angeles. Just get out. I realized quickly living in LA, I don't belong. Things have changed. It's a very depressing place. One of my good friends commits suicide as soon as I get there. And, Patton Oswalt cancels me. I'm just like, I realized I saw the writing on the wall. I was like, all right, it's time to get the fuck out of here. I got thrown off punch drunk. I was like, it's not a place for me anymore. This is not, everyone's kind of brainwashing to think in a certain way. And, whatever your beliefs are, your political beliefs, but, I don't see eye to eye with a lot of your beliefs. And, I'm not going to go around causing problems. Well, I like causing problems. I'm cool with that, but I don't know what he was expecting. I don't know.
Yeah, you saw the bigger picture. You got the refund on Los Angeles and got out of there, and he's still stuck on Costco. So do you think like he went to a gas station after that to get home? He's like, oh my God, again with this mask shit? Like, it makes no sense. Do you think he lives in an apartment building and has to put on a mask to get to his apartment?
I don't know. I mean, I guess he had another, I guess he popped up on that, what was the cop series on network TV. And by the way, after shit like this, he's not going to get roles anymore. It's not going to happen.
It says he has a net worth of 25 million. So I'm glad he got the $120 back.
Yeah. I want to find out his last acting role.
I don't remember because I just looked up his IMDb and like the last thing on there just said like canceled. And I was like, no way. Like there's no way it had to do with his Costco spat.
He hasn't been in a film since 2010 and he hasn't been on TV since 2016. And he was on Dolly Parton's Christmas of Many Colors.
So it's going well.
Yeah. He hasn't had a role in a really long time. So
yeah. So where do you think they get a net worth of 25 million from? Just royalties, back end stuff? Yeah.
I mean, he was on like The Lonesome Dove, Silver Spoons. I'm sure they got some residuals, and then he was on the, NYPD Blue. That's what it was. He was on there for.
Oh yeah. That's like one of the few things that I recognize that. And I recognized Get Him to the Greek, but I do not remember him on that movie. So.
Yeah. So Ricky Schroeder, if you're listening, and I'm sure you're a subscriber, pack up, get the fuck out. It's over. leave Costco people alone. They're first responders in this global virus that you have a 99.9% chance of surviving. So they're heroes. All right. This next topic I wanted to bring up because Kobe Bryant was recently inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame by his wife and Michael Jordan. Did you see any of that?
So I watched her speech also, but I had no clue that was like a televised event. Like I knew like the Hall of Fame was a thing, but I didn't know that like, did you ever know prior to this year that they like televised this? I think it was maybe just on like the NBA channel, but like I was still surprised.
No, I'm still to this day, I'm a huge fan of watching Hall of Fame speeches on YouTube. I love the old NBA and I love watching them like Allen Iverson's, Jordan. So yeah, I was familiar that it is televised but I've always just watched it on YouTube. So
what was interesting to me is that it was a mixed crowd of people with masks and without masks. And I was like, well, at this point, what are you sharing the same table too,
And they all have to get COVID tested to go in there. So it's just all theater. It's theater.
Yeah, whatever. But I mean, I don't know. What's your thoughts on
Now I have some mixed emotions. Here we go. I'm gonna go down this road. I was never a Kobe fan until the last I actually liked him post basketball. I was like, all right, this guy really is a fucking. I didn't appreciate him when he was playing. I always thought he was a Jordan ripoff, but I got to know more about him. And obviously, actually, you know what's funny is when I found out he died, I was down by where you live. I was in Montgomery at the Cheesecake Factory.
Were you really?
Yeah, you know where it's at? That little mall.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield goes there sometimes.
That's the one in Cleveland, I think. Or is you guys the one else? So I saw it on the screen and it says Kobe Bryant dead at 41 or 42 or whatever he died. And I was like, holy fuck. And I remember everyone just looked at me like, like it shocked me. And it was just, you know, I was like, holy shit. And then you find out his daughter was on there and other families. And then before you found that out, you're watching Ari Shaffir get canceled online.
I'm laughing at Ari's video. And it's not until after that everyone realizes, like, oh, one of his daughters, their other families are there. And I'm like, damn, how fucking big is the helicopter? There's like a lot of people in this fucking thing.
I mean, they're literally pulling bodies out and Ari's tweeting about it. It's just like, what the fuck? And I love Ari. I did a podcast with Ari. I know again, here's another one. It was called back to Hinchcliffe. I know what Ari was doing, but it really was too soon. It was the definition.
Also, do you think Ari would have done that video if he weren't in Charlotte at the time, like driving by the NBA arena? Like, how does this line up?
Yeah, it definitely probably inspired him since the Charlotte Hornets drafted him. Now, obviously you feel bad for Vanessa losing her daughter and her husband. That's terrible. And he has these babies. That's just, you can only, I don't, that's terrible. But this is where it gets weird. I watched her speech and, it's really brave of her to come out and speak. And, I can only imagine the pain she's going through, but I could tell she's gonna annoy the piss out of me eventually. She's really lining herself up to be, and listen, I feel bad, but I feel like she's going to be this celebrity thing, and she's going to be speaking out on everything, and her opinion's going to be, all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Does this make any sense? Am I?
Yeah. So I was wondering if you were going to get to what I was going to say, which is that I thought it was odd that my eyes at parts where she's mentioning her kid and all that, my eyes got more teary-eyed than hers.
Yeah.
That's a lot of practice, right? On her part to not cry while she's talking about her late husband, or that I definitely thought that was odd.
Maybe she's a strong woman, just a very strong woman. I don't know. But I just see her, and listen, I sound like an insensitive asshole, but I just see her becoming very preachy from here on out and speaking out on everything.
Yeah. And I mean, don't cancel sit down Zumock, but like he allegedly did some real fucked up shit, a while back. Like, and it's amazing how like he skated past all that.
Well, he took a hit. He took a hit reputation wise, but I do believe I'm a big believer. People fuck up and make bad mistakes. And I believe he probably, he fucking cheated on his wife when he was a kid and he fucked up. I don't think he raped the chick. I think the chick probably, it is what it is, but he made himself into a good father and a good man.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I don't think he ever did any wrongdoing to his kids or anything, but I mean, that's a part that like really I guess he got some bad PR.
Yeah.
That was it. If that happened now in 2021, he's off the team.
Yeah. You're done. Yeah. It is what it is. I don't know. I just watched it and it was a good speech. He did a good job, but I'm starting to, I don't know. Maybe I'm just calling my shots too early. I don't know. I just see her annoying me down the road. I see her hanging out with celebrities all the time, and she's starting to turn into this like,
She could be the newest member on The View.
I can 100% see that.
Mm-hmm.
I can 100% see Vanessa Bryant as this like views opinionated person. I could see that in 5. Yeah, you're right. But
Yep.
Listen, this is just my opinion. Okay. You can have your own. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, that's fair. And I do hope, like, and not to be rude to the Bryant family, but I do hope that this kind of puts a cap on the Kobe stuff. So from now on, if she does any public appearances, it is on her behalf and not on Kobe's, because it is like a lot. And maybe she is at that point where it's finally like, well, I don't have any more tears to shed, sort of thing. But like, I don't know, like we've been hitting the Kobe Bryant news hard every opportunity we've gotten, and it's always her who has to deliver the message. So
yeah, and the NBA's milking it too. It's just like, all right, enough tributes. It sucks.
Right.
Let's keep it moving. I'm an insensitive dick. I don't care. The MTV Movie Awards were yesterday. Did you watch, Tyler?
No, I had to look up who won what. And when I looked that up, I noticed like I didn't even know like what the movie was that like won best movie and stuff. I don't even know who this. Like I tried to watch the trailer and I was like, well, I don't think I'd even watch this, you know. So I guess when I first looked it up, I thought that I was going to look up music videos, which I think that's long gone, right? No, I mean, did Nikki Glaser do a good job? You know,
did she host it?
I think so, right?
Holy shit, she did host it.
Yeah.
Nikki Glaser will host. All right, Nikki, look at you. I
think she did a great job, but I don't know anything else about the MTV Movie Awards.
I love the fact that I shared a comedy condo with Nikki Glaser back in 2007, and now she's hosting the MTV Movie Awards. Not that it's who gives a fuck, but it's still kind of weird. Let's just say our careers went in opposite directions.
Yeah, you didn't even get an invite to the MTV Movie, or from the looks at it, you didn't even get a Zoom link to go watch it. I mean, it seems like that's how a lot of what's that?
I think these award shows are done. I put a cap in it. It's over. Enough award shows. MTV is done. I don't even know why that's a thing anymore. And it's just, I remember back in the day, like I couldn't wait for the VMAs to see fucking Guns N' Roses, the Beastie Boys, Chili Peppers, and perform. And, you know, bands had instruments. I don't know what even it is anymore. I just think award shows are done.
Yeah, and that's actually the real reason I didn't watch the MTV Movie Awards. I just feel like there's too many white people. So I didn't want to be a part of that.
Shut up. I got to touch on this real quick. I didn't put it on the rundown, but if you could stick it in there.
Yeah.
Do you remember the old Maxwell show on WMMS, the one we replaced?
No, that was probably a little before my time. What was
well, what's that?
Kind of.
Yeah, the Maxwell show was on WMMS. We were the show that replaced it. This is for the Cleveland audience, but
did Maxwell really love you?
No, he hated me, and I hated him.
I know. I remember that.
And we had a war, and he was a fucking nightmare to deal with. And it would be hilarious. I'd be driving to work. And I would I'd set my alarm for 6 o'clock because from 6 to 6:30, all he would do is talk about me. And I'm thinking people in their cars going to work, construction workers, and they're like, who the fuck is he talking about? I'm just thinking, I go, how do you not have the fucking just able to read the room? Like, nobody cares. People are turning the channel. You're screaming and yelling about a guy on another channel that nobody knows about. These guys are just trying to get to work. They're just waking up, getting their coffee, and he's screaming and yelling like, yeah, he's an asshole, or whatever he was saying at the time. He didn't say asshole, but anyways.
About you, like just.
Well, when I was before I even got on the radio back home, I was just a local comic. I was still bartending, but I was just doing the road here and there, and I was trying to make a name for myself, just, you know, trying to figure it out. I was hosting at Hilarities, hosting at the Improv, and comedian Ryan Dalton, who I grew up with, he would go on the Maxwell show. He was like the only comic they would have on. So I was doing a big charity benefit. I think it was like 2008. So I asked Ryan, I was like, can you get me on the Maxwell show? Because I want to promote it. And, you know, he pulled a solid and had me on. I go in studio and they're being like kind of dicks to me, and they promote the event. And as I'm driving to the event, or as I leave, they're trashing me, saying, "Not funny. That kid's not funny." I'm like, where? What? You couldn't do that to my face? So ever since then, I go, "Fuck you. You're my enemy." So one of the best parts is I ended up getting his time slot, which I never thought, he never saw that one coming. So anyways, long story short, we've had wars over the years. We've talked shit. He has a new podcast out. It's called Paulie MF20. Now he goes by the name Paulie now, Paulie MF20. And I've done a podcast on it with Tony Mazer. I shit on that podcast on Who Are These Podcasts. And it's such, I used to hate listen because he's so untalented, and then I just got bored. I was like, this is terrible. Now I'm back to listening to it again. It's almost like I'm watching a train wreck. I love watching just somebody who's just unstable meltdown and has so many demons and problems. And they think they're way more talented than their job. He really thinks he's something big still. He goes from like, I'm not charging for this is free, to him begging for money, saying, hey, why don't you send me some money? This is like, I don't know. It's just fascinating. I don't know. If you ever get the chance, I highly recommend Paulie MF20 because it's terrible.
If he has a Patreon, you could probably pay $3 a month to go talk shit to him. Yeah,
I could sign up to his Patreon and just tell him about how terrible he is.
Well, what like does that? He just complains. Like, what's his angle?
Everything. He complains about everything, and he still talks about when he was on WLMS like it was like yesterday. Like he hasn't lived any life since then, and he talks about like what happened on the show, and it was just weird. Like how, dude, you haven't been on the air in 10 fucking years, man. Like, what have you done since then? Deuce talks about something about now. And he's like a boring guy. He's a drug counselor now, but it's just very, very odd. It's just, I don't know. I'm fascinated by it.
Well, based on his Twitter for it with 171 followers, I think that you just gave him more promotion than he's ever got for it. So
no, I did it on Who Are These Podcasts, and all the pests went after him, and we trashed it pretty well. He did a good job trashing it. And then he's got these little videos. Oh man. Yeah. I don't know. I highly recommend if you just like terrible things, go listen to that. It's just really bad. It's fascinating. And the way he has a show, it's only 20 minutes, but
20-minute Mondays and 20-minute Fridays.
He starts out with a little tease about what you're going to get into, and it'll come up later in the show. And then he keeps teasing these news stories on a 20-minute podcast. It's 20 minutes. You don't need to tease. Like it's right. Like coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. No, it's 20 minutes. You're going to do it in about 5. I can hang around. You don't have to tease these news stories.
Yeah, I'm going to get through your podcast before I make it to the on-ramp on my way home. So
no need to tease. I guess I should have gave you a heads up on that one, but if you get a chance, give it a hate listen. No, you know what? Give it a listen. And then you tell me if you hate it or not. And if you like it, I would love to know what you like about it. If you're listening at home, please send me a message. You can email me directly, chadzumock3 gmail.com, or you can DM me here on Patreon with, the hater, and just tell me, like, he tells me what he hates about me, but I want to know what you like about Maxwell. That's what I want to know. What do you like about me or Maxwell? So.
Come on.
All right, let's get to the last topic here. IV drips. Have you done one of these?
No, I haven't. I know we talked about it last podcast. How are you, by the way? Are you feeling better?
I'm working on my health. I'm definitely working on it. I'm exercising. I'm trying to eat better. I have a 21-day plan, but I found out there's an IV drip place right down the street, and I'm thinking about doing it, but I don't know much about it. So I guess I want to know if it's worth the $150 I'm going to spend.
Sure. And no, I haven't ever done one, but I mean, I would assume that if it's anything like, just the IV drip that you would get when you're in the hospital just to keep you hydrated. Like, it's like, from what I hear, one of the best ways to stay hydrated, right? I don't know.
I hope so. I should have teased this at the beginning of the show. Coming up later in the show, we're going to talk about IV drips.
IV drips.
But now let's talk about Tony Hinchcliffe. Talk about ending fucking week. I ended it with IV drips. That's a fucking terrible ending to a podcast.
But is there different IV drips?
Yeah, you can get all these weird, like you can get some for hydration, for hangover. They got testosterone drips. They got vitamin cleanse drips. And I don't know. I'm just reading more and more about these. So I'm trying to just basically put everything good into my body just to get it back to what it was. And,
the hangover one. That's probably always the best move, right? Just give me a hangover IV drip.
Well, I haven't been drinking because I'm taking this. I pretty.
No, I know, but still, like, that's probably the way to go. Isn't that going to give you like the most electrolytes and everything else? Potassium, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, that's not a bad thing, but do you need if you don't have a hangover, or doesn't matter?
Why would it matter? I don't know. Get one in each arm.
All right, yeah, I'll get it at the same time. I'll get the hydration and the hangover. I wonder if you can do that. If you're a doctor, call in.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Yeah, get Dr. Drew on here.
Hey guys, I have a YouTube channel you can subscribe to. Go to Zumock YouTube / Sit Down Zumock. My goal is to get 2,000 subscribers by the end of May. I don't know if we can get there, but if you haven't done it already, please go do so. And if you're watching this right now on YouTube, just hit subscribe and hit like. I'm trying to build this channel up. I'm trying to make it bigger and better. And we're trying to make this podcast into something. So take 5 seconds out and hit subscribe and hit like on this video if you're watching it on YouTube. But thank you so much for the support. And if you're on iTunes, leave a 5-star review. Yeah, all that shit. It all helps with that algorithm. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to be a YouTube star. That's what I'm trying to do.
No, you gotta fight. You gotta do celebrity boxing matches to do that.
What's his name? Jake Logan or Logan Paul?
Logan Paul and Jake Paul, man. They're that's the new success plan.
That's the what?
That's the new success plan. You just follow whatever it is that they've done. You just be a douchebag online, and then you fight the first famous person that's annoyed with you that says publicly they're annoyed with you.
Well, I'm a douchebag. I just got to do it online. That's where I got to make some douchebag videos. But I'm going to be doing a lot more videos, some more rants, and please share it if you can. And thank you for listening. That was on behalf of Tyler. That's a wrap.